Because no matter how good he is at that point, your offense falls completely apart when this guy isn't in there. And that's not the answer to this team if he's going to fall down all the time and get hurt. He just seems to be every year, a couple games, quarters here, this lost. We needed him in that second half. We needed him bad. Seneca's good, but this was a game we needed Matt to start figuring that defense out. And, he just didn't do it. But again, we didn't see this healthy. We haven't seen a Hawk healthy team yet, so I can't judge him. You can't judge him. Nobody out there in Code Puddle Land can judge him until we see this team. Give me an 85% healthy team, and then we'll see how good the team is or isn't. They're not at that point yet.
I agree. Well, this is probably a good time to talk about the Bears game. We're walking into that right now. Next week, that's at home, right?
That's at home.
Okay, so we got the crowd. We
got the crowd.
Looking at there. What do you think? Bears beat Steelers?
The Steelers. And that's a big win for the Bears, but I do believe they're playing at home, number one, and number two, Troy Polamalu was out of that game. I know that Urlacher was also out, so a lot of people might say, well, the two negate the two. It's like a holding penalty against an offsides on the defense. They negate, so we start the round. But no, that's not really how it is. I think Polamalu at this point in his career is more vital to the Steelers even than Urlacher is to the Bears. At least more, he makes them their defense better. Urlacher is just, to a lot of degrees, he's lost his step. He wasn't as effective last season. Well, they also are missing another linebacker. The Bears are coming into this game. Pinata E.T. Samoa is one of those Tongan guys with the great last names to pronounce. But they're missing two of their linebackers coming in. They did hold them to 14 points, but again, this was Chicago at home. When they come in here, are they going to hold us at our place to 14 points? I don't think so. I look for our offense to go off against this overrated Bear defense. Overrated. I think you're going to see us exploit them in the passing game because I think Hasselbeck's going to come back healthy and Walter's going to be in there.
Okay, so you think Hasselbeck will be back this week?
I think on bruised ribs and the fact that Hasselbeck comes into this season knowing he's in a make-or-break situation, it lets him know that unlike years past, Matt would have set this next game out. Holmgren would have been, let me put my star quarterback out, you rest, we need you in the playoffs. This year I think he goes, we were 4-12 last year, every win is vital. I've got the ribs bruised. It's not broken. I'm not going to hurt myself more by going out there and playing on it. It's just going to hurt. And if that's the case, I'm going to go out and do it. So yeah, I expect Matt to play in this game. I mean, we're going to need it.
What about these other? Are we going to get any of these other guys back?
Walter is almost. I think I would go 95% sure that Walter will be back by this game.
Okay, are we going to get Lofa?
Lofa, who knows? It depends on if he re-injured it or if he just went game time. I can't do it.
What about Mabane?
Mabane is a yes, I think. Mabane is. He was the most surprising one of this week of inactives. I did not think he was.
Did you know that? Okay.
Yeah. I was watching the build-up to this game all week, and Mabane was out of practice, but nobody was ever like, he's probably out of the game. And to see him out, that blew me away. Against Gore, you needed everything you could get down there, and we needed him in there.
Okay, so if they are back, you would say that the Seahawks could pull this one out. If they're not back.
If Walter doesn't return, if Lopa's not in there, and Mabane isn't playing...
Well, what about Hasselbeck? What if he's not in?
If Matt Hasselbeck isn't in, no. Any team we play against, with the exception of maybe the Rams, the Jaguars, the Titans, there's only about 4 or 5 teams that we play on our schedule that I would say, with Seneca going in as the starting quarterback, we would win.
Yeah, okay. So we've got maybe a 50-50. I guess it kind of depends. We'll hear this week what's going to happen, and we'll see what happens, I guess, this weekend. I
guess I would say if Lofa, Brandon, and Brandon Mabane are both in, but Matt's not in and Walter's in, we could still beat the Bears at that point. But a good team, because I don't consider the Bears a good team. I don't think they're a playoff team with Urlacher out. So good teams will lose without Matt. We'll lose to. But a team like this, we can overcome at home. That defense is special at home. I expect to win this week, but if Matt doesn't start, don't place any bets.
All right. Well, I guess that's pretty good. Again, really, really disheartening game, and I think we'll just kind of look forward and kind of forget about this week and think about next week, and hopefully these guys get healthy and we can kind of actually look at our team and decide where we're at.
Take a breath out there in Hawkland. Of all the injuries, it looks like at least only one of them is potentially season-ending injury in Leroy Hill. Everyone else looks like they're going to be back, and that's the key, is once we get some health here, this team will play out to their abilities.
Okay. All right, well, we're going to wrap it up, guys, so thanks for joining us, and we'll talk to you soon.
Thank you again, and just lastly, anybody any other mic problems we're having, we will be improving on those. We're looking at a couple of solutions, SkypeNet, something like that. We've got a couple options. So hang in there with us on the audio. We will be upgrading in that department.
Thank you.
Thank you. Have a good night.